directions for your Lawren Harris winter landscape. Name and teacher code on the back. You'll begin by adding a horizon line about a hand's amount of space from the bottom. It doesn't have to be straight. And then I like to add some kind of blobby shapes to create glaciers in the bottom. So this would be kind of water in my landscape. And then add some mountains that are fairly big, nearly to the top of your paper, but it's okay to add variety. So if you want to add some small ones and large ones, you're doing that, and you're basically filling up the top half of your paper with really big mountains. To give that kind of Lawren Harris style, we'll add some extra lines on our mountains. I like to just do like 2 or 3 so I don't end up with spaces that are way too tiny to paint. You're welcome to use any colors that are provided to you. For mixing, you will want to dip your brush in the color of your choice and kind of twist off your brush in that space to get as much paint off as possible. So here I'm kind of twisting my brush to get off as much as possible, probably about the size of a dime, a very small amount of paint. Rinse your brush very thoroughly and dry it before you grab the next color to mix into it. When you begin to mix the colors inside of the small spaces, make sure that you're stirring gently in kind of a small circle so you don't end up spreading the paint farther than you need to. If at any point you don't quite mix the exact color inside of a space, it's okay. Just kind of go with it because it definitely adds a lot of character to your project and it creates some interest with the variations of colors. When you're painting in small little spaces, such as between 2 mountains, like I am doing right here, tip your brush upward and use the very tippy top of your brush. Go slow next to those lines and in those small spaces, and you can paint in your project however you choose. Don't forget to thoroughly wash your brush every time you're dipping into a new color. For our final step, you'll be using ink to outline all of your drawing. And be careful with the ink because if it gets on our clothes, it doesn't come out. And if it gets on surfaces, it's a little tricky to get off. So kind of scrape your brush off on the edge of the cup and very gently and carefully outline your entire picture. All those mountains and details that you have drawn, you're going to go through and very, very carefully outline. You'll notice in some spots I even drip. It happens. Make it work. See if you could maybe turn those drips into extra lines and create some more interest in your painting. It's okay if it's not perfect. Any little mistakes, give it some character and make it uniquely yours. So here you'll see I kind of start adding some extra lines in the darker blue area, my water, because I dripped and I decided to turn my mistake into something beautiful. Go ahead. Put it on the drying rack very carefully when you're completed.